Ready.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Today's date is Friday, July 9th, 2021. It's 9:30 a.m. We're here for our budget workshop, or not budget workshop, our Commissioner's Court workshop. Got budget on my mind, so first item on the agenda is our auditor. She doesn't have anything?
She couldn't talk if she did. Yeah.
Never sounded better. The next item is our treasurer.
I don't have anything for today's meeting, Judge. I do have an agenda for Monday.
Okay, we'll come back and do it. Yes.
We kind of have a problem. We can't hear the auditor and the treasurer can't see it to read it.
Yeah, we do have a problem.
Hear no evil, see no evil. All right, next item, I have a proposal from Johnson Control regarding the air conditioning unit in my office. They gave a proposal of what they are calling air bleeding valves at a price of $1,672. I would assume they only did my office when we had them come look at the whole system. And he did tell me there were several offices that had the same issues that mine had.
Is that like the thermostat on the wall that has air to it that you're talking about?
He says what happens is, just like the courtroom, and my floor is really cool, and Rosil's office is real cool, and he said there's not enough things to push the air through the whole system, and that my office, being at the back end of it, doesn't get the air pushed in, and that putting this bleeding valve deal in there will help push the air into there.
He finally got the other guy they sent. He came and looked at mine, and he said, you know, it's the thermostat itself. And they have air going to those, and that. I guess that's what's been bad all this time.
Well, mine has actually got better. Of course, the temperature hadn't been as high as it was there for a while, but it's still. I don't know if it's something my deal was to maybe get the whole system regulated, but they only sent a proposal for my office, so I may just contact them and ask them the trouble areas that they saw, if they could send us a proposal for all of them and do that. And so, any questions about all that?
Yeah, I have one. Yeah, you know, trying to get this temperature regulated is in this system is really difficult. But the big problem is too, her temperature setting is different than hers.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you do, she's going to be cold, she's going to be hot.
Well, now, I don't, if it's a few degrees difference, whether you want air or not air, but like mine was, you didn't have an option. I mean, there wasn't no air. And so, and to be honest with you, I really like it in the winter because I don't get lots of
This
the heat
one
in there.
there right now, it's really hot and the winter's really cold.
Yeah. So, but anyway, they did give us that proposal, but I think I'm going to ask them for a complete proposal and see what they'll give us. The second item I have is Phyllis Wall wanted to talk to us about she has a sign for the Ware Hotel.
All right, so I'm not sure if y'all are aware. First off, let me say thank you for letting us cut down the shrubs.
It looked a lot better, thank
for,
you.
Whatever Operation Serve Day, because that allows us to see that monument really well, and it's more evident as you drive down the highway, so thank you for letting us do that. In October of 2020, amidst COVID, I guess, we purchased one of the original Hotel Ware signs. And I'm just going to pass around, there's a picture of it as it was getting loaded. And here's a picture, maybe you can tell a little bit more about the size of it. And then here is the picture of it actually on the building. We have that sign, and it is our hope to get that re-neon. It costs $10,000. We're not asking y'all for $10,000, thankfully. That's a good thing. So anything after this is like, yay. We have the funds to have it re-neon. So we want to visit with you about the possibility of putting it back on the Hotel Ware. if that would be something, there would be an expense in maintaining the power to run the neon sign. I have no idea how much that is. I'm not familiar with neon signs. I can't imagine that it would be too expensive to run that. But we think it'll be a really nice addition to our downtown, and working with the Hale County Historical Commission and the downtown Plainview, we feel like that it'll be just something else to bring people down here to see the neon sign. So hopefully it would be the first of several. But this is the only one we own at this point in time. So we got it at an auction in October of 2020. So our request from you would be that we could somewhere put it either on the hotelware. It doesn't have to be in the same location as it was, because it is not a hotel. But if you want me to tell you my dream, it is that the upper floors would be a boutique hotel eventually, and we would have entertainment and restaurants and nightlife. That's the focus of where I would personally like to see us go in the future, where y'all would still have the bottom floors. We would have a boutique hotel at the top, and just, that's just a dream. So, but we're working towards that. But anyway, so if, maybe it could go on the back of the building so you could see it from Fifth Street coming that way. I don't know. It's just something for you to consider. It is going to take extensive work, of course, to get it brought back up to where it needs to be. So anyway, that's that proposal or presentation for
And
you.
who does the refurbishing on the sign?
I knew you were going to probably ask me that, and it's Lubbock and it's Garrison Signs, I believe. They've looked at it. We had them come, and it's stored right now out in the city barn, whatever. But they're the ones that do neons, so it is a very reputable place that does that. So.
Okay. Any other questions of Philip? All right, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, our next item, I put it under Rocket Aviation. I've talked to Jim. I sent it's actually with Park Hill Engineer Agreements. I sent what Stacy had sent me to Jim. He was able to look at it before he left and said, yeah, look, there was no issues with it. And basically, it's an agreement for us to continue the crack seal work that's being done out there. And so, Stacy, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I just was here in case y'all had a question. It's the same thing if y'all remember that we did this last year. We had the $100,000 for the crack seal, and this $12,148 is just for the services for Park Hill to help us through the process with the contractor and the bid process and
Okay. And from everything, listening to Mr. Hamilton and stuff, it's been successful.
yes,
in-
what we did
in the
last year is
project,
really
yeah.
holding it well.
And so, any questions of Stacy? All right, well, thank you. All right, Sheriff's Office, he had an interlocal agreement to house prisoners and for personnel. And item E, I put on there under Chris's deal. I thought it was gonna be an interlocal agreement between Hale County and the city of Petersburg, sort of like we have with all the cities, if something would happen, we could assist them and stuff. But actually, it is in regards to unsold properties over there, and they're wanting us to enter an agreement that we would forfeit the county's money if it was below a certain price. And so what I'm gonna do is, we're not gonna take any action on it till the 26th when Jim will be back, because Jim can explain it a lot better than I can. And so that is not on Monday's agenda, when we go to Monday's agenda. So there'll be no action considered on that. And that concludes our agenda items for today. Let's look at Monday's, July 12th items. Melinda, do you have anything then? Okay. Ida?
Okay, Judge, my agenda item is to address and discuss timesheets for department heads. We have, of course, several department heads that answer to the Commissioner's Court. And one that I have an issue with, but he actually brought me a timesheet this morning, is Mr. Garcia at the Ali Lyman Center, refusing to turn in a timesheet. I'm not sure if he was made aware that I'm on the agenda for it, but I'm asking the court this is something that he's done before, and then all of a sudden he decided he's not gonna do it. And he did bring one in. Of course, he has a little attitude, and talking to my employees, like, you know, wanted to know if we were gonna pay him comp time and stuff like that, which he should, if he's gonna discuss it, he needs to be talking to his bosses. So if one of y'all would please address it with him and let him know that he will fill out a timesheet. And I'll make sure I talk to him about talking to my employees. But I'm just asking the court to help me out there. And
Okay, just for my clarification, that would be Mr. Garcia, Jesse Mendoza,
yes,
Deborah Lambright, and Carla Glowicki,
yes, sir.
and those are the 4 department
Yes, and
heads.
they all comply,
Okay,
and he was complying, and now, and he told us that he was going to speak to the court because he didn't think he needed to turn one in, and so that's why I got on the agenda.
Okay.
I think he needed it for a little bit.
But, like I said, I don't know if he heard that I was on the agenda, and he brought one this morning with a little bit of attitude, but,
and let me ask you, are the department heads, are they exempt employees?
yes, sir, they are.
Okay.
But even if you're exempt, because even the jail administrator turns in a timesheet.
Yeah, well, I understand about the timesheet, but
Yeah.
they're not subject to comp time though.
No, sir,
Okay,
no,
Everybody has to turn in time sheets.
yeah.
except for elected officials,
Except for what?
elected officials.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions about on that?
I would like somebody to address it to him and speak to him.
Okay.
One of y'all, since y'all are the ones that can hire and fire him.
Well, we'll take action on it Monday and emphasize that everyone has to turn one in, and then we'll see if someone wants to.
I'm gonna ask him, we need to get him to come Monday, or do all of this.
Do what now,
We
Harold?
need to need to come to court Monday,
Well, it'd probably be in his best interest, but I guess if he don't, we can just talk to him.
I'll call him, and see if he'll be there Monday morning, get mine.
Okay, all right. And then I'll have the health center EMS. Oh, anything further, Avida?
Melinda just reminded me to state that it is in the personnel policy, so it is a county policy.
Okay, all right. All right, the items I have that are different than today is a health center EMS report for June of 2021. Also, the Hale County Historical Commission in appointing a person to the board. And so we'll do that on Monday. The sheriff has the 2 items that he had on today's agenda, plus a proposal for pest control. And so the county attorney, he has a item there for us to go into session to talk about a proposed business prospect. He did give everybody the information that's in y'all's folders upstairs. And he said that if we wanted to go ahead and go in closed session and discuss it among ourselves, we could, or we could just take no action on it Monday and wait for him on the 26th, and he would be happy to do that then. Or that if we wanted to, when he got back, go into a special session to discuss it, we could do that. So, the next item is the emergency management coordinator. He's going to come, and he has a quote for a radio, a handheld radio from Two-Way Radio. Jesse and I have talked about some of the things he wants to do in that position. And one of the things that I asked him to do was take a little more active role in the weather watching when we're placed under warnings or whatever. If he could get out and be part of that response, and he's agreed to do that. But and his vehicle does have a radio, but he doesn't have a portable
They don't have a
radio.
portable.
And you know, when you're a one-man person out doing that kind of stuff, you really need that portable radio, especially if you're out there in inclement weather or at night and under emergency situations, he needed a radio. So he had proposed maybe waiting until the new budget time, but I think it's something that we, for his safety and stuff, it's probably something we need to address now. So, and then the last item is Commissioner of Precinct 1.
All right, there's a gentleman named Buddy Gibson, and Judge Rawl has talked to me, and we talked about it. He is wanting to buy the Tire King facility out in South Florida. And he kind of wrote up a little deal of what he wants to do. He's like, I want to buy the property on 34th Street in Wood, the Tire King. I know it is full of tires, but I have a recycling plant in Dallas, which has made a deal with me if I get the said property. Which I'm actually going, when I meet him in the morning to show him the Tire King, I want to get the phone number from this plant in Dallas to make sure everything is up on it. But anyway, he wants to buy it. And he said it would approximately take them 3 years to remove the tires. They're gonna send trucks and load them and haul them back to Dallas. They're gonna turn them into, they're gonna grind the tires up and turn them into road patch material. He's gonna turn it in, he wants it because of the shops. He's gonna turn it into a business with a car lot on it. So we need to be thinking, if all of this comes to fruition, what we might be thinking we want for that property.
Did he mention who was gonna send these trucks and?
Well, that's what I'm gonna find. I'm gonna get the phone number from him tomorrow, because I wanna call them myself and bend their ear and talk to them if they know this gentleman and nail down that part of it.
When he called,
Make sure it's a legit offer.
when he called me and contacted me, I referred him to Jim Tyree because of the situation in selling county property, and especially this county property, and all the conditions. And I think Jim had talked to Harold and said one of the conditions should be that he would have to have some type of plan to dispose of those tires if he was to purchase it from us. And I think that's what he gave Harold there.
What is his name here?
Buddy Gibson. I think he lives in Hale City.
I'm not sure.
It's the same buddy that we used to live with.
I don't know. Jimmy?
He doesn't look like one of the old former hotel guests.
No. So. All I know is he made a request to purchase the property, so I tried to get him through the correct avenue and how to do that. So, and that's all I know about him or the situation.
But I want to get the phone number and the name of the place in Dallas before we jump off the diving board.
Any questions of Harold or in that situation? All right, if not, then that concludes our agenda for today. We'll stand adjourned at 9:48 a.m.